Hey everyone, today I'm doing a reading on the trooping of colour that happened yesterday, the 15th. The 15th. And what a beautiful day it was. So you might have caught the reading prior to this. It would have been the last one, but the one, basically the later one that has Princess Catherine in, where I check in on her energy of the day, like she sent the letter to the Irish guards in the rehearsal day. And I also noted like she wasn't feeling well that week, but she'd wish she'd be there, and that was like a pull energy, like make her feel a bit more crap as well, but she really wasn't feeling well health wise. I also noted, and I believe some of you would have taken note in the description box, because I always say check the description box, and I always put a comment, that I felt there was energy where she might make an appearance, and I felt like it just might be the balcony. But this was going to be on her basis, so it was basically going to be on how well she feels, and I do feel like it was kind of last minute, and that's why so I felt at that time it would be very last minute, and I felt like it would be a bit of a distance if she does. I don't believe if anyone says she was forced. I don't believe that at all. I feel like she was given, like you can just basically be on the balcony, so you can already be there and come out on the balcony and watch, or you can ride in the carriage and then go down at the balcony, and there'll be sort of cameras that have instructions. So they had like a couple of options at play, with the whole thing about protection, etc. there as well, should she decide to. And I feel like it was very much, I'm getting the date around the 13th evening, she was sort of like, I'll do it. So it was kind of, there was a plan there just in case. It was very two simple plans with one of them that she went with. I can't remember what I wrote in the description box, but I remember mentioning it because I was feeling I'm putting my neck on the line here. Now, why am I doing this reading? Because there was a profound healing that came out of this. It was a beautiful day. And even if someone says, despite the weather, no, actually, the weather was a very cleansing energy, and it needed to happen. That whole thing needed to happen. She needed to be there. They all needed to be there. It was cleansing. It was reuniting. It was a blessing. And it was a healing that happened. And I feel after it was done, they will realize that it was kind of an event that has put a healing milestone in there. I do think she was in pain. And I hope people don't come out and mention how slim she was, or for example when she was waving, like, you know how William would say stuff and she was looking at him. The dynamic between them was good. But like, I hope people don't start making different stories now. Like, you could see the tension and stuff like that. The other thing I wanted to mention is, in my readings, I said about King Charles really trying to do his utmost for his people. And I've seen that, I felt that, and I actually see it. I saw it yesterday. I also saw, obviously it came in my readings with the tarot validating what I was saying. And I've never been a fan or not a fan of King Charles. If anything, probably not a fan because of what happened to Diana, or not what happened, but the whole thing with Diana in the relationship. But I've never kind of had, oh, I hate him. No, I've just stayed away from it. But if anything now, I'm leaning towards liking him, because he is going that extra mile. He could have easily sat on that balcony. He could have easily just sat under the canopy. He could have easily sat when the rain was pouring on him, and he stood there saluting the guards as they went by, like 75 years old, has cancer. And people say that they brought out King Charles having cancer just so they hide what's happened to Catherine. You know, those people that thought she wasn't alive and there's loads more to it, etc. I feel like he has chosen that. I feel like he chose that to give Catherine the space. I feel like he's pulling through to also help William stand on his ground. Now there will be a video coming up that's the toxic healing, something like that, and it will have Meghan and Harry, and it's more or less around energies and their relationship dynamic. But I mentioned William in that, and William's been a great coach to Catherine. And in that video I explain why I believe so as well. Now, I've never sort of known whether, I haven't watched many clips about Catherine, but I've never sort of known if I like her or I dislike her. I just really liked the way she handled stuff with grace, but I never really looked at her to think, do I like her? What do I feel about her energy? But I always felt she was elegant and handled with grace. And there was this kind of sort of moral, Sotic kind of energy and professionalism towards the monarch, which is what Prince William is like, and I like that. And thank God that Prince William is the elder, obviously, and that's where I feel Harry has disrespected the monarch, regardless of what he's gone through. Well, his brother went through stuff as well, and we acknowledge it's hard, but still. But there is a gleam and there is a beauty to her, isn't there? If you pay attention, I didn't watch it all, by the way, I watched few clips. You'll find that she holds herself where the pain may be. She does in a reassuring, comforting, sort of 2-second holding. But I feel like she did have pain that day, but she carried it as if she didn't have pain. And yeah, this was a healing that was needed, and it wasn't kind of like, if you go there, there's going to be healing because everyone's going to be there kind of thing. You know how it's kind of like coming to Christmas, let's all just be there because we need to get back as a family. No, this was something that I don't think they realized the profound healing that has happened. And there's been a huge energetic cleanse on that day. It's beautiful, and I still can't, when I see Prince Charles standing there in the rain pouring, saluting the guards, I was just like, exactly what I've been picking up on and saying in the reads. And the reads that are more sort of popular tend to be the ones with Princess Catherine, but I do think we need to realize that the amount of love and kindness that Charles and energy is putting out in such a time that he has his own battles, he deserves that kind and love back to him from the people, from everyone basically, because I think he's been selfless at this moment in time. And I still get that he is a bit panicky around whenever his time is, okay, whether it's in 5, 10, 20 years, that he wants to bring Harry and William back together and not leave this plane with them not talking. And although he doesn't agree with what Harry's done, and he's very angry, especially when it comes down to thinking of the monarch, because he feels like his mum obviously is the one that really represents it. There's been prior to his mum, but for him it's about his mum. He's not happy with the way what Harry's done, but he doesn't want to leave that energetic split between them. And I think that weighs heavy on him. So what we're going to do is just tap into the energy of that. So I was going to do a collective energy, but Spirit is saying to go to how Catherine was feeling on feeling then. Okay, so let's see. I wanted to do this yesterday, but actually I did the Hex Huerman, Rex, not Hex, Rex Huerman, the SK serial K, that is basically, I don't know, I did the reading, you need to check it out because I think this is going to be big. Even if you're not in the US and you're watching me from England, I just think it's going to be huge from what I got in that reading. But yeah, do check it out. There's the reading, I've split it into two, so I processed the first part and the second part will be up, so do check that out and look out for the next reading on Harry and Meghan's relationship. It's beyond being about Harry and Meghan in particularly as people. It's about also learning the energetic, the sort of the role play that they're playing. And if you're liking those kind of reads, psychic reads and psychic on fact reads, you need to also like, subscribe and let me know in the comments, because that's what I'm basing the readings on. And I've had a few, I appreciate subscribers that have mentioned what they're interested in. So split the deck and just make sure the deck is upright. It's only the Hanged Man. No, it's not the ones. Cups, swords, cups. So when does it turn upside down? Okay, that's it. All right, so how did Princess Catherine feel yesterday, the 15th of June? The 15th, you know I'm going to have to spy on Harry a little bit. I did touch. See, I saw that. That's Capricorn energy, but we're going to have a look, right? How did Princess Catherine feel yesterday? Remember I said that she's putting boundaries and it'll be on her terms. These are not very good energies, okay? So although she was looking quite with it, within her, she wasn't looking too good. She was feeling quite depleted. She did not feel very well. I just want to pull on this because I'm getting it could be Camilla. I'm not taking this card because I hadn't finished the question. Okay, so there's someone who had sneaky words with her, quite harsh words, and this person is actually is younger than her, but it's not a very young energy, so it's not like it's her kids, and that really didn't make her feel very well. It's not William either. It's someone a bit younger, probably in their 30s. I don't know who this person is, and it could well be a female, but the words they had really hurt her. This is really interesting that we get this. And it's kind of put her in an energy. I feel like this person was trying to apologize, but it wasn't an apology. It was kind of like, it wasn't a genuine apology, and it wasn't from a place of love either. This is really strange. I wonder who this person could be. So this was happening behind the scenes with her, which is very interesting. I said that she wasn't feeling very well. She did feel like, you know, what I find here is that she was very apprehensive. Before I start the tarot, okay, she was very apprehensive about yesterday, and that's why she was last minute, okay, to make this decision. And she didn't want to commit to being there, okay, but she had that offering to be there should she want to. Now watch the cards change with me, all right, as I've just explained this. Watch the next cards starting to change. So she was apprehensive, but although she was very reluctant, it was needed to calm everything down, even in the open public. Needed by that, I mean, she shouldn't have been forced, but she'll realize that her apprehension was going to turn into anxiety in the longer run, whereas now it will calm things down. Although at the same time, she's feeling quite tired of needing to do things just to calm the chaos down, which I've mentioned in my readings. And here is somebody has said something that was quite harsh to her, really hurt her, it didn't come from a loving place, and it's really made her not want to commit. It was making her not want to commit to being there. But also learning from looking at certain things in the past. So how did Catherine feel yesterday at the trooping of colour? I mentioned this in previous reads. I mean, really, the UK and England, we always do it. The British always do these events, marches, monarch occasions in such a beautiful way. Behind the word beautiful, there's all these fine, sharp, detailed words like precision, like meticulous, and you could see Charles also checks out the soldiers and their form as well. Prince William was there on the horse, and Charles would have been there, but he was told by the doctors not to be on the back of the horse. Princess Anne was there, and Prince Andrew, and I just love how it is. And it's behind the carriage of the king. And when we go back to when it was the Queen's time, Charles would be on that horse like William was, and it's just beautiful. Like, when I think of Harry, he's tried to break this, and it's something that I don't see in any country ever happen in such a way. Like, you really take pride in just watching it. And it really brings the whole collective together, and that's why I wanted to pull collective cards as well. But how did Catherine feel yesterday? The Magician card came out. Yeah, she wasn't feeling very well, and she did feel from this a little bit of manipulative energy. But she wasn't feeling very well. And there's the Star card, the healing, still healing on her physical journey, on this journey that she's in. There was a bit of manipulative energy, and I feel like she felt it was coming from this person. This person's really interesting. So I don't know why I asked. I'm going to pull on Camilla's energy towards her. But what we get here is someone that's not... it didn't approach or say something to her in a kind way. And it was kind of a sulking, negative kind of person, or, you know, sort of like jealousy. It could be your jealous partner, but I feel like it was a female, and it could have been someone that's a bit younger than Catherine. So like I said, she still felt she wasn't feeling that great. So when I say I could pick up on she had pain, she did have pain. We've got it here, we've got it here as well. But I wonder who this person here is not a very healthy dynamic. So what we're going to do now is, so you can see in the readings, and also those people that started to bring the children into their readings, or in general, whether it's, you know, I've seen there's somebody called Tells, and the rest is, I'm not going to say the last name. She's American, okay? And the stories she comes out with about Princess Catherine, about the royals, she comes out with it as if she's actually factual, and it's gross, and loads of people just following it. It's like yesterday, like even after that, I don't know why she keeps appearing, it's doing my head in, and I'm stopping myself from putting comments on her thing, like, stop with your bull crap. It's disgusting. If you know who I'm talking about, I'm not going to say her skin color, but she's got long curly hair, and she just makes up a load of crap, and unfortunately it's selling. But even like some of the psychics that have been saying she's gone, the kids are, I don't know what. It's time for you guys to calm down. I mean, you can remove your psychic reads, or whoever's been, you know, even like those ones that are doing the common like podcasting kind of stuff. But I did see a few, because when you do readings or you do certain topics, and because recently I've been doing a lot of like missing children and stuff, there's been a lot of like murder and crime story coming up, and it's actually made me feel quite ill. But because I'll tap in, I'll check what on earth is this. And so then sometimes, like yesterday, I was looking for some of the clips of the Trooping of Colours because I couldn't watch it all. And it's, you know, today it's all again Trooping of Colours, and I can just see like some of the tarot readers even coming up in my feed, which normally it's the news and it's kind of like the crime podcasters. It's less about the tarot readers. And some of them have been quite toxic, and it's kind of like emergency read on the Trooping of Colours, and you can see it's a lot of backpedaling, but then you can see who is truthful. Let's just do a quick check-in on, 1 second, let me check the camera. Okay, let's just do a quick check-in on Camilla's energy towards Catherine in general. I think Camilla's energy in general is going to be, you know, whatever, she's going to be a bit more flowy with, you know, Charles. I do generally think she loves Charles, all right? But let's just see Catherine. You could tell that Charles was more engaging with Catherine. How does Camilla feel towards Catherine in general? I'm going to take 3 or 4 cards, okay? That's all I'm going to take. Like, what do I do with that? Let's take them and then see if there's like 2 or 3 more that will come out. Okay. So we've got here, okay, so she's very guarded and focused on the healing of King Charles, all right? She's like, no one should interfere with the healing of King Charles. She's got her boundaries up against that. The Emperor in reverse, she's quite stubborn or upright. She's quite stubborn in putting that boundary, and she could be quite set on this actually, like just set on making sure King Charles has some boundaries in place when it comes towards him. Don't know why this is being brought up in Catherine's read. 10 of Swords, betrayal. It's to safeguard him from this energy. All right, so obviously there's something that needs to be said about Catherine's from Camilla. Just give the Spirit wants me to say about her energy in general. So let's get more cards towards, firstly, the 10 of Swords. Clarify the 10 of Swords just to confirm what I've mentioned. Yeah, she's overwhelmed. So her, you know, she's not able to see things. Camilla is not able to see things clearly. She's a bit overwhelmed with everything, especially when it comes to King Charles's health and the future. All right, she's really overwhelmed with that. So what I'm getting here is that is taking her focus from everything else and everyone else. Okay, so that is her main focus. Right, let's see if Spirit wants to show me the cards. Camilla towards Catherine. Camilla towards Catherine. I'm not surprised by this. It's the energy I was getting. So I'll explain that in a moment. 1 or 2 more cards, whatever you want, Spirit. Okay. So we've got the Sun, which is great. But before that, we've got, she's not moving. She's quite set in her ways about what she thinks about Catherine. Overall, though, she does think Catherine is going to be the success story here. She feels quite positive towards Catherine. But there is an energy here of these two, which is a bit ungrounded in her energy. And I don't quite... a bit ungrounded in her energy towards Catherine, not moving, not having a movement on what her thoughts are, refusing to change sort of her thoughts on Catherine or her energy. And there's a fear of the unknown around what is going to also happen with Catherine, not only with Charles. And that's where we see these cards come into play. But the outcome here shows that there's a positive outcome. And it might just be this energy of where she's a bit overwhelmed that's making her feel like this. But she also feels like Catherine might have been a bit more, you know, a bit working too much at one stage in her life where she didn't need to. But she has a selfish energy towards her. You know what I mean? There's kind of like this selfish held back energy towards her. But then again, we've got the sun. And it's kind of like, I'm not sure if this is the image that she's trying to portray. She does have some warmth to her because she thinks that Catherine is going to be a success story in this in the monarch chapter, I was going to say. But in the monarch, she does see like she's like the right fit. But I don't think she's very heart open to Catherine. I don't think that she's nasty to Catherine. But she does have a bit of ego. Can you see? And I don't think she puts it out there, but it is there. Okay. So let's just check on how did Charles feel? Bless him. I want to hear your stories as well. I mean, I do want to do the collective read because, like I said, they don't realize that they just had a massive universal cleansing, which is beautiful. And long live sort of the royal family that's been under scrutiny, and also Britain in a way because of all this, especially a lot of people like, you know, this old-fashioned way of becoming a king, the whole thing when he was crowned, etc. So let's see, how did King Charles feel on the day? How did King Charles feel on the 15th yesterday? Trooping of colours. How did he feel? How did King Charles feel? We've got the Tower in reverse, feeling stuck, not able to really move. The World in reverse. He's in this chapter that's not moving forward at this moment in time. The Ten of Pentacles, where it's around his health, it's around the monarch in general. He knows he's got a lot of choices. He knows he's got his partner next to him, Camilla. All right, so he could feel that energy. This was in kind of, it fell out. I didn't know if it's in reverse. But this could also be a bit of worry around the monarch moving forward. But this is understandable with his health concerns. So that was also there in his energy. How did King Charles feel on the 15th of June at the Trooping of Colour? Yeah, celebratory energy, but quite a bit of anxiety. I feel the night before, and I wonder if there was a worry about the way the public were going to respond, security and safety of that day, making sure it's all in balance, making sure he's able to also give to the people what he wants to. He wants to show that love, kind and attention. He wants to give it back. He doesn't want to, he wants that balance of reciprocal energy. So he's in that giving mode. And that is what has helped him. His health was all right. He was feeling okay, kind of health-wise that day. But there is this feeling of stuck in a certain chapter, which it would have cleansed. And Spirit is reminding me that on the first spread, I got loads of cards. And then I remember saying that after this, watch the energy change. And Spirit is saying the energy did change. So I can't remember the first question I asked, but you'll be able to replay and see. He knows that his health is the thing that's holding him back a little bit, is the thing that's bringing him down a little bit. So I think where he was told he can't ride on the horse back from the doctor, he wasn't very happy about that, but he knew that he had to follow orders. He felt really disappointed in not having the health to be able to do that. And so he just followed the orders. Look at that on the bottom of the deck. 2 more cards, King Charles. Page of Cups in reverse, and the last one I'm going to pull, Queen of Wands. She was already facing up. So with this, I felt like he, you know, Camilla was kind of his strength, sat there beside him. Whether she gave him a reassuring pat or not, I feel like she also kind of did a pat or a sign that, okay, so we should move from here, or something like that, like where she had her boundaries up against for his health. But here he felt the strength of being able to give the energy he did through her being there. And I feel like he got a otum. Is it an otum? Why have I forgot the name? You know when you get a sign, an otum? Yes, an otum, right? An otum. He had a spiritual otum come through to him that helped him have that power. And I'm not sure if it was from his mother, when she would step into a completely different person at these occasions themselves, like the Trooping of Colours versing and another occasion where she was actually quite passionate, stood very high and confident, didn't have to be in such a Queen of Swords energy, but could really watch the horses, feel the passion, feel the energy. And I felt that that energy came through to him. Now we've got the Page of Cups in reverse here. So some part of him felt, he felt like, you know, oh, he could have missed that sign, some of the otums that were coming through to him, to be honest. Like, he's picked up on some, but I don't think he's fully seen some of the signs. And this is where I say that they will slowly realize how healing that day is. Their epiphany will come through from it. But there was a bit of kind of childish emotions, and I think he felt it maybe a little bit from Camilla at the same time. Like, she might have said something where he felt like there was just no need for it to be said, or something like that. But a couple of signs of otums he did actually miss, and he's gonna, but he's gonna get that epiphany like the rest of them. Let's just check on William, and if I've got time, I'll check on Camilla. Oh, I said I wanted to check on Harry, didn't I? You know, when I was watching it, I was thinking, like, I wonder if, because when King Charles was crowned, there was a lot of kind of horrible things that were being said. And I just thought, if you don't agree with it, just don't be there. Why have those banners? You know, people are humans at the end of the day. Let's just check the recording. Okay, we're still recording. Okay, so let's see Prince William on the Trooping of Colour Day, the 15th of June. He was on that horse. There we go. The giving and receiving, honouring his duties, holding his own in that. Just really knowing that I'm holding my own in this. I feel like he felt it quite deeply spiritually as well. Inner strength, 2 of Swords. He felt like there was some challenging decisions there. Maybe it was around Catherine. He felt a bit of fear as well. But he was in his, Catherine's healing and her decision, the decision they took to do that. He was kind of very much focused on holding his honourable ground of duties, but also giving and receiving. By that, what I mean is giving out the love and energy to the people by honouring his duties and showing up in the way he did. But again, there's this challenging crossroad decision that needed to be made, and there was a bit of fear from that, whatever it could be. Like I said, it could be what Catherine decided. to do. And then with the children, his energy, King of Wands, that, and there he is. Well, you know, the horses were not happy when the rain was falling down, but again, very passionate about the day, very passionate about doing his role, but also taming that kind of passion. So enjoying it in the moment and not being hasty that the day needs to go perfect in this way. And so I just wanted to start it and finish it and think that that was an amazing day. No, enjoying it in the moment, being patient in it and not being hasty. Taming the horse as well. Prince William. I was going to say, I feel he was a bit on guard. He was on guard, okay? I feel like he was very much on guard when it came to Catherine and the children and him. I feel like there was some hesitation as well in terms of making sure that he played out his role in a perfect way. So he was quite guarded, and he still feels quite alone in the things that he does. Like, even though he's holding his own in strength, he is feeling quite alone. He's feeling quite alone. Whereas I think if Harry was there, it would be like both of them that are quite guarded. He feels like if it was for his brother, but he did really want to honor his dad at this moment, okay? The world, he feels like it's a very significant chapter that's going to be happening. He knows that everyone online and the world are watching, and that also was on his mind during that time, okay? So all these thoughts and trying to be in the moment was happening for him. A couple of more cards. 5 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and the 4 of Cups. So here he had his concerns around Catherine's health and the kids. This is the Page of Wands, which I said in previous reads of Catherine, remind me of the Page of Wands in time, and I still say it. So you know, his thoughts about him, Catherine and the kids, you know, going in the carriage and the balcony, and he's on the horse. That was also in his mind, but he's got to focus on his role with the horse. He's got to focus on, you know, being, if you notice, he's very sharp. He's doing exactly what the guards are doing. He's not like, I'm the royal, so I'm just going to hold the horse reins with both hands. And yes, I'll sit with the back straight. No, I think it was last year he had his right hand firmly down with the white glove and one hand in, you know, he did it even better than some of the guards. Some of the guards were not even doing that. So I love to see that, how that's passed on. I always feel, you know, it's beautiful. And you can't say that if he does it so great that there wasn't enough mentoring and guidance, like probably Harry would say. But yeah, there's worry here about security, about Catherine and the kids, and especially around the kids. And so that was also on his mind, quite a bit, I would say. And he'd have to rein himself into the positive mindset of being in the King of Wands and what he wanted to do. So he was in fluctuating energy, because when he would think of the kids and Catherine, he'd become a bit worried. Yeah, he'd be worried about the security, he'd be worried about what was going to happen, he'd be worried about the reaction and everything. And he's got the world that's on his mind. He's also wanting to fulfill the role of doing this in the most perfect way he can. So he knows he's had to pull in his energy, pull in his thoughts at certain times. And also remember that this is a great day. He also loves to be there and not allow any sort of demon or beast within the mind to take over, and not allow him to enjoy that moment of history, but also a chapter that he feels is very significant. Let's look at, should we look at Harry quickly and then Queen Camilla? Let's just check. Okay, so let's look at Prince Harry. I just put these at the bottom straight away, so I just want to put them in between the cards before I do a shuffle. Don't forget to give this a like. If you subscribe, thank you for your support. Comment, let me know if your thoughts. Did any of you make it down to, whether you're in London or go there? I didn't actually go there personally. Well, that's probably obvious when I say that I was watching a lot of the clips throughout the day because I couldn't watch it straightforward live. Let's see Prince Harry's energy about not, and I don't think he should have been invited. Like, I don't know if anyone thinks he should have been invited. I don't think he should have been invited. I think that was the right decision. How did Harry feel about missing? I think I asked about his energy, missing the rehearsals and possibly not being here. So let's just see 3 cards. I don't want to spend too much time on this. How did he feel about, I think he would have watched it. So how did he feel about it? How did he feel about it? 15th of June, Trooping of Colour, Harry. Left outside in the cold. Yeah. So he felt like he was, there's 2 cards here. Really proud. He felt a lot of love. He felt proud. He did feel like he was left out in the cold though about it. And there was something about appreciation for his own health. And it made him reflect on his children. It made him reflect on some new ideas that came into him. But he did feel quite isolated not being there. He felt like he was an outsider. But it didn't like break his heart or anything. But it's given him like new thoughts around something. And I'm not surprised. New chapters. Given the readings I've done prior. Camilla just shortly, and then we'll pull a couple of cards for the collective energy. Ace of Pentacles. Got such a heavy headache. I can't see what that card is. Four of Wands. Yeah, she was happy, wasn't she? Look at this smug, really happy energy here. And she felt like very celebratory. She felt it like a new kind of chapter after a lot of heartbreak, which is good. She loved being there under the canopy with King Charles, interesting, King Charles. A couple of more cards, Camilla. But again, there's something where she was not satisfied about something, and it would have been a challenging decision. She had a bit of fear and concern around it. Heartbreak, that's the, you know, there's energies happening in the background with them. We can see that. And can you remember in the June readings, if you've not seen it, check it out for the UK royal family, Harry and Meghan. I said there's a very big significant decision that Charles has had to make, and I feel like the decision, I'm not saying that this is the decision, one decision he's had to make, she feels like it's been quite gruesome and heartbreaking. It's been a very challenging decision. She also, I feel like she was approached by a plan of that day that she didn't like. Okay, she was not buying into something. Do you know where it can be like, okay, you can go in the carriage this way, that way, and she wasn't happy with it. This could also be that Charles wanted to get on that horse despite the doctors, and she was like, you're not doing that. Although she knew that it would really, you know, he really wanted to. But I think it's something beyond that. Knight of Pentacles, yeah, so it could actually be that Charles was like, no, I will try to get on the horse at one stage, and she was like, you're not doing that. She really feared for him to do that. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. Let's pull some cards on sort of the collective energy of that day. Something about my throat chakra, by the way. Although there wasn't much talking, there was a lot expressed through the other chakras. That's what I'm getting through the heart chakra. That's what I'm getting with that, which makes sense. So let's see collective energy. Can you tell us, Spirit, what we have? Just saw the Two of Cups. Saw the Hierophant, which is the Monarch. Five of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Sorry, I think that's the Star card, the Healing. Doesn't want to come off the floor. Oh dear. The problem is I can't even see if it is the Star card. Let's try again. Yeah, it is the Star card. Exactly what I said. A profound healing, a breakthrough, which they didn't realize on the healing by all of them being there. And by everyone being there, but a light shining on what is happening with Catherine, a light being shined on where everything, people felt like they were in darkness. A light has been shined now, and this has been a breakthrough of cleansing and healing for them. And also us collectively, because hopefully a lot of people can calm down. Look at the bottom of the deck, yeah. Ace of Swords, the clarity has been, is delivered basically. The clarity is there. Everyone can see things clearly now. And from a universal perspective, it brought through a big breakthrough of healing for the royal family, but also I think for the UK as collective. I feel like the heart chakra was dominant here and less about the throat. And look, the end to a chapter that they've been through. It's exactly what I said at the beginning, and a new dawn beckons. So that's beautiful, isn't it? I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, you know what you can do. You can give it a like, you can subscribe, you can do a super thanks, you can comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and bye for now.